Ruben, my favorite music by you is Maestra Vida. And the first time I heard it, I saw the stage play and I saw the movie in my head. When is that going to become a reality?
Thank you. I am in the process now. You know, the people who produce Cidades de Deus, they are interested in doing it. What I need to do, there were two things, very quickly. One is that I have been writing about this mythical neighborhood. And this is something that Faulkner did in his own way, and Garcia Marquez did in his own way, and I have this neighborhood that I write about, inspired by Panama. Everything I do is connected to that, to growing up in Panama. And I'm now beginning to make the connections between all the songs that I have written. For instance, what connections had Pedro Navaja with Tutelo Pipi? What connections exist between the characters? And so I'm doing that. And the other thing is that I knew instinctively, that I couldn't write about certain things because I just didn't know. It's different to sing Maestra Vida when I was 31 as opposed to now that I'm 61. You begin to understand life more. You begin to be able really to write con conocimiento. So I'm going to begin to work that, and I hope in the next 2 years, I'm also going to take my PhD in sociology, so that should help me. It's going to force me to sit down and write. So I'm going to...
Columbia, right?
And Columbia University.
We have a second question over here.
Then move to the left.
Qué nervios. More than a question, I just want to say thank you as a Panamanian and as a Latina. I think that the work you have done with the IFAD for the Panamanian tourism is remarkable. And I want to know what's next. Have you given up as a politician for your people? Are you going to do something more?
I think basically one of the reasons why I want to take this PhD is that I find that we need to re-examine our concepts of public administration. I think that the problem is not just political parties or the people in them. I think that the system is broken. And you're not going to have answers just by taking the Republicans and putting them here and then taking the Democrats and putting them back on. I don't think that's going to resolve the issue. I think that we really have to rethink the city, our responsibilities as citizens, our solidarity as a community. And we have to, and that's why I want to take this PhD, because I want to write about administration from a perspective that is not ideological, but rather utilitarian and real and pragmatic. So if I do that, then I don't need to run for anything. Because right now my problem, and I saw this when I worked, it's 5 years of my life I spent in Panama. And I have to tell you, when you come from the private sector and you go into the public sector, most people are very disappointed. I was not. I was very happy. Made me less selfish, made me a better person. I knew more about my country now than I ever did. I feel I helped. But I also learned the system can work. The system can work. But we had a lot of problems in doing things because of bureaucracy, I call it. Not bureaucracy, but burro, you know that. So we had to change the structure also to make things work. There are a lot of things that are common sense that you cannot exercise because the system itself is geared to favor corruption or to favor mediocrity. And the other thing you need to do is you got to rethink the judiciary. In Latin America, if you examine all the budgets, you're going to find that the judiciary is the one that gets the less amount. And a country that doesn't have a strong judiciary is a country in trouble.
Blades and the whole audience. Before I present my question, I just want to say that I have an anecdote, because perhaps you don't remember, but 29 years ago, My Spanish teacher, Maria Cruz, I don't know if you remember her. She brought you, she took you to carving school, and I was one of those kids who were there. I was at the time 13. And I just want to say that, frankly, the same person who I saw back then, still the same human being, gentleman who is this time. Truly, from my heart, you changed, you impacted a lot of lives, because when I asked you the question about rock and salsa, you told me, never think about titles. Music is music. Just follow the rhythm and your life.
So many different songs, especially reggaeton. As a singer, I want to know, because this new generation needs a different directions. And especially because salsa, in a way, is not dying, but it's kind of disappearing. So I want to know what kind of heritage, as a singer, as an inspiration for this new generation, you will put in practice, especially now that you're coming back to the state, so people can still promoting the salsa, because the salsa shouldn't die.
What we've been doing, actually, it's interesting that the lyrics that we've been writing have been inspiring and informing, actually, and not just me. I have to put Tite Cure and everybody else who's written songs. Some of the new generations that are involved in other ways of expressing themselves, because every generation is going to have their own way to express themselves, are picking up on what we've done. And I put as an example, Calle 13. Some people can't stand Calle 13. No, some people can't stand Calle 13 and the things Calle 13 says. But my position was, Rene is responsible, Eduardo is responsible for what they say. I'm not going to censor them. I will give them advice. I will give them my opinion. But the fact that they're doing also urban music makes us be in the same area, the same ground, with a difference also, of appreciation of things. So basically, I think the best example, the best way to present what we're doing is through collaborations and also through example, is to continue to perform, I think, and continue to inform people of what it is that we're doing and why. But I do find that there are a lot of people backing us up now, young people.